around Rosalina and how much matchup you've got. Obviously, Big Boss competing a lot in North America. You have got some Rosalinas over there, particularly the man de Buzz, but certainly it's that high level of Rosalina experience is incredibly difficult to come by. And don't get it twisted, Big Boss, a truly incredible talent, but there are a lot of extremely good R.O.Bs out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how well Big Boss knows this matchup and, you know, the differences between him and other R.O.Bs and how he deals with the tricks and traps that Solo is going to be trying to set up as we head over to Small Battlefield.
These are two very versatile characters in terms of how they can be played. I think Big Boss is nothing too crazy and like too unorthodox, but what he does is very, very clinical. Solo has a lot of Rosalina, like Solo-specific Rosalina gameplay, and it's impressive to see him. It's a very interesting dynamic when they both have their children to go hold down the neutral. Gyro versus Luma here. Wow. How are we gonna start us off? Big Boss already going out all guns blazing with that side B.
I like the idea that Solo is already tempting the idea that I'm going to come out there and edge guard you. Even though that Solo didn't necessarily go for any big swings, it still means that Big Boss is going to have to keep guessing. And if you're just standing there watching someone sort of dance and weave around the ghosts that aren't there, you can really use that as data, and that is a little element of matchup and familiarity that we are seeing. That Luma is going to be defending Rosalina as she is digging for her life to get out of the pit that R.O.B has set up. However, again, both of these players taking it a little bit slower. No stocks taken so far, nearly a minute and a half into the game, but Big Boss, he's sensing it here, and perfect shot right there off the right-hand side. Beautiful start from Big Boss.
A good sign of how prepared you are for the Rosalina Luma matchup is how you play when there is no Luma on the board. How clinical are you? And we saw it right there. Big Boss gets the stock when Luma is gone. It's the ultimate disruptor, but if you don't have anyone backing you, it's a lot easier to take a lead. I think that Luma's already saying goodbye as well. Goodbye, Mr. Red. But a lot of time is going to be burned on this path back to stage. Solo does not need anyone else. They can go it alone, as the tag suggests, brings it back to 2 stocks apiece.
I mean, we were talking about the ghosts earlier on, that Big Boss was dancing around and Solo was saying, hey, these ghosts, they are real, watch them out. And say hi to the bottom blast zone for me as well. Stunning retaliation there from Solo, and a little bit of a gyro combo as well. That is sort of the progression of the anti-R.O.B meta, where being such a common character, if you can get hold of that tool and use it against them, it's that sort of next level set. And particularly against an opponent like Big Boss, it's a borderline necessity.
Absolutely, you need to make it a touch of death enabler for yourself, because he will kill you if he has it in hand and hits the gyro in air. No Luma to save you here, up tilt. Not going to find the mark on the up air, and Luma is back here, but bad position. It's detached, and so it's staying alive. It's not following Rosa off, and it's causing problems here. It's acting as a very efficient meat shield. It's fighting a proxy war. It's doing quite well. Big Boss's child been adopted there. That gravitational pull taking it up on board, but no Luma in play at the moment. Can you get a stock here? I feel like you probably should have, and you do eventually. Not the path we're expecting, but Big Boss has a stock lead. Not gonna be able to get a gyro stuff when Luma's on board. It feels like a 2-stage boss fight. You get rid of the child, and then you go to town. He's done well here. A lot of chip damage on this final stock of Solo.
Yeah, we really need Solo to find those early stocks. Again, the knockback growth on Luma being utterly ridiculous, and all the tricks and traps that you can pull. However, R.O.B's big sweeping hitboxes are so good at just dealing with the both of you, and the lack of lag on something like neutral air as well means that you just put Luma in that little bit of hit stun, and then you can just, you know, throw out a short move like, you know, like a down tilt or a forward air just to get rid of Rosalina, and then just by the time Luma's recovered, our mum is all the way across the stage. I love that side B attempt. However, a little bit too laggy there, and Solo managing to get a good up smash.
I do not. I wonder if he was just trying to catch like a neutral get up in that situation. Okay, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Eating that final stock up. Big Boss takes game 1. Very impressive start for us here, Joycey, but we know things can change. There's a lot of room for adaptation.
Yeah, it feels like the difficulties in the matchup are beginning to show themselves, particularly with how little lag there is on a lot of R.O.B's moves and how big the hitboxes are as well. It's just when you are sort of relying on someone to hit Luma and then be in lag so you're there, similar to how like when you grab like an ice climber, it's that similar principle. And we were seeing elements of it there, like particularly that down throw right at the start. We saw that Luma was just ready to intercept, but it feels like Big Boss has got a really good grasp on knowing what moves, like he's sort of relying on Solo to like expect Luma to be there, but then Luma's not, get a quick hit, and then Luma's there. Like his awareness around the state of both of them is so impressive to see. And I think Solo really needs to sort of find a couple of answers, adjust a couple of those timings so that he can get some of those more, you know, intricate combos going that are going to really send Big Boss to the skies. But already we're 15 seconds in and there is no Luma to be found.
I want to point out that that Luma died from taking so much damage, not from being sent off stage. It protected the mother a lot, but there's only so much you can take before it goes. And I feel like there has to be some give and take. If Big Boss is hitting the Luma, you need to find some way to punish the R.O.B in return. Not really been able to find it. That's the second Luma gone in 40 seconds. And nearly a stock gone. It's so hard to make it back when you have no hitbox to cover yourself against that very active R.O.B downer. Solo done well to mix up his path, but there's only so much you can do, especially... Oh, what a tech, what a tech. Hold on. Wow. Does not matter. Solo having to making Big Boss jump through all the hoops, but Big Boss does take that stock off that edge guard. Very good stuff.
So incredible there from Big Boss, just that relentless aggression, even in a situation where it felt like Solo almost had that brief moment of, oh my goodness, I've got the ledge, I can get the spike, and then Big Boss with that up air, just sending them both sailing away. And like you said, all these Lumas are taking so much damage. I hope they're part of a union, because this is very much unfair treatment of workers at the moment.
Hold on, I love the idea on that extension, not going to find the mark. But that's a stop regardless. Big Boss running away with his second game here.
So difficult for Solo to get anything started. It's just all of these big hitboxes. Luma forced to take so much damage. And then, of course, that ridiculous clutch factor of the side B on the side of the stage. It just feels like in every single aspect, Big Boss has just got an answer ready. And already, you know, Luma just about managing to make it back on the stage, and finally an up air is going to take that first stock, but it is a huge hill to surpass.
It sure is, and R.O.B is a hard character gimmick, but this is some crazy combo from Solo. 78% is very impressive. Can you keep it going? That's the sort of play you need to see, my friends.
Hey, I mean, she's got toys in the toy box for the kids at home. Let me tell you, playing with that spinning top, and what a stunning display there from Solo, showing that he has definitely got some good ideas in the matchup. The up smash not quite managing to work at the moment, and just sending Luma to do the job and saying, this is from the Union, expect to see my lawyers soon. And Solo just not letting Big Boss even start, finally managing to get back into a neutral situation. But let me tell you, there is a different Solo on the screen right now.
It's an incredible turn of events. 50% from that is bonkers, as Big Boss has to be a bit more scared. He's been very bold with these landings. You'd think that the Luma up air would be enough to beat it out. Not gonna find a mark. 100% on Solo. He's done well to bring back to an even position, but you're looking very fragile. Taking a lot of damage. Luma's not really been taking the hits, but this lead is incredibly large. But another double toss combo, a lot of damage, but you're not able to find that like juicy finisher for a kill, but it's a lot. It sends a message, Joycey, but you need to do a little bit more. Luma's coming, anti-air up smash. This is huge from Solo, that's the right idea. This is so scary here. Up smash is coming out, Luma is gone. How are you gonna survive? You're not. Big Boss denies the reverse free stock, goes 2-0 up, Joycey.
It felt like Big Boss was really succumbing to the fear and the pressure that Solo was putting on. Again, when you see somebody start throwing out those, you know, those double toss combos, and then just that relentless pressure when Big Boss was in the corner, but just having a moment of, right, you're going to jump around, this pressure is fake, I'm going to break through it. And Big Boss, again, just clutching out that moment there. But it's so interesting to see that even though Solo had a bit of a rocky start. We are already seeing that sort of, those tightening of the screws, the turning up of the dial. We've gone from 7 out of 10 all the way up to 11. And we're going to see if Solo can take what he's learned and apply it all the way through to hopefully get himself on the board.
I think credit to Solo, he's played these Lumaless situations very well, but this is a 2v1 situation here, and Big Boss is really making it show. 100% practically unanswered, but this is Solo's time, but doesn't get enough. And that's a really well played situation from Big Boss, parrying to the down smash, nowhere for Solo to drift back to avoid. Gonna die, this is a huge lead already.
Yeah, and it feels like maybe Solo just feeding those little elements of frustration, just sort of charging at Solo in disadvantage and getting hit by any and every trick, and that's the side B, only 20% on the board. What a complete reversal from Big Boss. This is looking utterly disgusting, folks.
If there was any momentum from Solo after that game 2, it completely dissipated in this last minute, Joycey. He is getting completely overwhelmed in this situation. Has to do an even bigger comeback compared to that second game. Then some. He's running out of options here. He has nothing to protect himself. A very well-timed forward there, going to get himself back onto center. But there's no Luma, and there's a lot of work to be done. Can you trap the landings? I feel like he's been struggling to get as much as he should against that big body.
Yeah, it feels like right at the start of game 3, or game 2, sorry, it was, Solo was waiting and reacting a little bit more, but it feels like these preemptive options are really beginning to rear their ugly head, and Solo with a clutch tech as well, but it feels like there are the habits from game 1 and the forward end not even managing to kill, but finally a spike off stage. It is going to be a monumental feat, but it is showing some signs of life, but the flat line is screeching as Big Boss gets that 3-0 victory, sending Solo out at 7th place, and again, just a dominant showing.
Really was Ireland's very own, going to be making waves in this top 8. It was a very close game 2. It was not a close game 3. Some explosive plays from our R.O.B friend. Really impressive stuff. He's going to be fighting the loser, I believe, of MKLeo versus Space. So potentially another, it's either a Mexican standoff or it's another Mexican-Dutch showdown. Very interesting bracket ahead of us. Genuinely obscene gameplay from this R.O.B. I want to see him do even more as we progress through the